Joining us now, addiction specialist, all-around superstar.
Oh, my goodness.
Dr. Drew Pinsky.
Dagan.
I'm serious. I adore you. We're friends.
Yep.
Off of the TV. This is a town, a mayor who has to step in and be the parents.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of I'm serious, look, the job of what we as adults are supposed to do with younger people is use our functioning frontal lobe to superimpose it on kids. And look, kids have been suffering through this pandemic. We destroyed 8 to 15-year-olds. It was predictable. I said it when the lockdowns came. California, we did it for 2 years. You tell an 8-year-old or a 10-year-old, hide under your bed, shelter in place. So what do we say when there's an incoming nuclear weapon? Shelter in place, and if you leave your hideout under your sheets, you're going to kill your parents and kill your grandparents. What do you think's going to happen? Depression, anxiety, substances, it's off the chain now.
And so this is the reaction.
This is one of the reactions. I mean, I feel deep sympathy for these kids. Look, they're first of all, there's a hunger for them to socialize. They were also isolated, and by the way, the extent that they weren't isolated, they were handed these pads where they could get exposed to porn and sexting, and it was just a total, complete meltdown mess. Of course, there's going to be a reaction, and yes, we have to double down on our efforts to help contain these kids, exactly the way that mayor said.
But Dr. Drew, we had problems before the pandemic.
Oh,
maybe
sure.
the pandemic exacerbated the problem.
Yes, we did.
And I think it's unique because during the pandemic, yes, kids were home, right? And that's a problem because they couldn't socialize. But so too were parents. And you think that would be an amazing time for actually families to bond and become closer and build relationships.
For some people, it actually was. But for the most part, again, you called them panic hustlers earlier in the show. And I thought that was very poetic. The panic hustlers damaged the kids, and then we isolated the kids, and then we exposed them to more screens. That was the recipe for the trouble we're in right now. And if we don't do the job, I mean, the mayor is absolutely right. We're trying to help them. That's what they need, not because we're those nasty kids or what are they up to these days? I'm like the old man out on my grass. It's not that at all. It's just what they need. We are hurting them by not doing that. And God knows, messing around with substances today is dangerous in a way that has never been before. Fentanyl is laced into everything. I'll tell you the numbers that you're going to hear about soon, that you'll be reporting on soon enough, is how many kids are dying just messing around with drugs. That number is an extremely positive slope, and it's skyrocketing. Kids that buy Xanax online or buy them, from up here or something, fentanyl overdose, dead. It's laced into everything. And then the THC is so powerful now. The sort of hydroponics and the chemistry of what they've been able to do with THC has changed that drug. That is now a different drug. It's not clinically the way it used to be, say, 10 years ago. It's literally a different syndrome.
But you look at California, they're legalizing drugs, right? And so this isn't making drug use go down. It's actually skyrocketing. These are entry-level drugs from the 70s that are now like hardcore drugs of marijuana today.
Well, the marijuana today is entirely different, to be fair. But the fact is that there's denial about a lot of things in California. Believe me, I saw my governor up there saying things that were just shocking, given as somebody who's lived there my whole life. But the fact is, addiction, to the extent that it's affecting addicts, addiction is a progressive illness, and they're denying that. They're saying you should be able to just give people the drugs they want, just inject the heroin, have the nurses do it. It progresses even when I do it or a nurse does it. It's a progressive illness, and particularly with opiates, it ends in death. Period.
And with the
period, that would sound like Greg now. Period.
If only. But with the THC and the legal marijuana, and it's legal in about half the state, almost half the states, it changes your brain chemistry forever.
Well, it could. I mean,
that was a question, not a statement, since I'm not the doctor.
What we're seeing is back 20 years ago, 15 years ago, people used to argue that cannabis was associated with psychotic illness. I didn't believe that. I was one of these people who said, I don't think so. I think it's just something that's in people who are predisposed. Now, it's causing it, full on causing it. And once you have a psychotic episode, that does change your brain.
Dr. Drew, I want to get to this as well. A new survey finds nearly half of teachers say their top school safety concerns is bullying following fights and drugs. I mean, again, so what's happening in schools? And I would argue, is it the phones? I mean, is it the phones that is the disconnector from reality for these kids?
I mean, that is a kind of a simple thing to say, and it's true. We will look at these things the way we look at tobacco soon enough. I mean, the fact that we let kids free with these things, we won't even believe that we did that. But in that data, the one thing that stood out for me was the bullying was the number one. I wonder what they're even talking about anymore when they say bullying. Is it that people they get offended, or what is bullying now? It's got a much broader category than they used to be say when we were in high school. So
it does.
I would just say in our day, you got bullied in school, but you got a reprieve when you went home. With these, the bullying never stops. You go to bed with the bullying, you wake up with the bullying. They can't get away from it.
100%.
It's devastating.
And that's the real bullying part of it, when kids are hurt by this. And like I said, when we were bullied, usually fist involved or something, so you could tell.
I used to fight back. Now you can't.
Did you fight back, or did you bully, Dave? Come on now.
Oh golly, I wasn't a bully. I used to get picked on all the time.
For
I was a loser.
Who would do what?
I'm a loser now, but I was a real loser.
I'm so sorry. What did you
No,
get
I
picked
was a loser.
We'll do a session later, okay?
Oh, don't worry. She'll call me.
You're the best.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Thanks, Dr.
Good to see you.